Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from Pretty Paper Cards, prettypapercards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my Friday Facebook Live. I'm going to start doing these every Friday. I know I didn't send out an announcement quite early enough this week, but I'll get into the hang of it if you get into the hang of it. And you can do a thing where you can be notified if I'm live. And I can't tell you right offhand how to do that on Facebook, but it's in there. So please see how you can do that so that you can be notified next time I go live, next Friday at 4 o'clock, the Lord willing, right? So today we have so much going on at Stampin' Up! With the new mini catalog, so much going on. And this is the first week for everybody to be back to school and back to work after the holiday, right? And so things are just settling down, which I really like. Hey, Linda, how are you? And what I'm doing is I'm getting out my shares, my product shares. I do a paper share and a ribbon share every time we get a new catalog. And I had those this time, and I'm sending them all out tomorrow, but I made some cute tags to go on them, and I wanted to show you. Now, if I get more people who want to do shares, and you can email me at peggy@prettypapercards.com, I could do another share. I've gotten out the first batch, but if you want some more, that would be great. It's some 6x6 it's 6x6 pieces of every paper in the new catalog and 2 yards of every new ribbon in the catalog. And you can find that info on my blog, and it may not be super clear, so I'm going to put it up and work on that this evening for you. So I'm going to turn the phone down, and you know I have trouble with this, so I'm going to ask for your patience again, and I'll show you the pretty tags that we're going to make tonight. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to try to get it so you can see clearly. There they are. Can you see them? Okay, so I have made these with using the Painted Poppies Bundle, and this is a gorgeous bundle. It's on the cover of our catalog this spring, and I'll show that to you because these are just absolutely so pretty. Here they are. Here is the beautiful Painted Poppies suite that you can see. And then I'm going to open it up to page 26. And here is the Painted Poppies Bundle. Now it looks like I might be upside down. Let me see if I can fix that here. Okay, let me try. There. See if that fixes itself and you can see better. So the Painted Poppies Bundle, it comes with the painted label dies and also the Painted Poppies stamp set, and that's what we're going to use tonight. And so I'm going to show you, this is what the little tags look like. Aren't they adorable? This die set, the Painted Poppies dies, painted labels dies. There we go. I think that's right side up, isn't it? It might be reversed. I so appreciate your patience. Maybe it's correct now. So these are the painted labels dies. They are neat. I haven't even discovered what all they do, but I've started using some of them on this project. And I want you to just get an idea of what they do. This is what I used for the base of the tag. Here's the tag. And if you can see the base of it, and I use this die, and the paper is Purple Posy. And that made the base of the die. And then I used this neat circle die and used gorgeous grape paper. And that's what creates this circle. The poppy itself, I've used the dies that go with it. And this, for the sentiment, is one of the stitch circle dies. And so I'm going to show you all of that. Now, I wanted to tell you, have you ever cased the catalog, copy and share everything? Have you ever looked in the catalog and loved something and tried to make it? Well, that's what I did with this. I don't know if you can see, it's on page 26 if you have a catalog. That with sympathy, this is kind of a little banner, a little a little banner that they made as a sample, and I really liked that. So that's what I used to copy. And I have so much fun just copying the beautiful things that the designers have created in the catalog. I used some other colors, but that's where I got the idea, is right from there. So let's take a look and see exactly. I'm going to get out my different papers. I pre-cut some things so that you can see. So we start out with this label die, and it has stitching on one side, and that's going to be the base of our tag. And then we have this is our circle die cut from Gorgeous Grape, and I've got two pieces of already pre-die cut cardstock for our sentiment, just in case I make a mistake, right? Because I always do. I don't know about you. This is Calypso Coral ink, and the sentiment, the Painted Poppies stamp set does not come, and bundle does not come with a sentiment, but because I'm attaching these to my shares and I'm sending them out as a thank you, I wanted to use a thank you sentiment, and I really like this thank you from the new Timeless Tropical stamp set. So that's the one I'm using today. So I've got that here on my block. I'm going to get a little ink on it, and we'll see if I can stamp correctly the first time. I'm going to put my sentiment in there. Okay, there's the thank you sentiment. And actually it's good, and I'm going to tell you why it's good, because the if you remember, the poppy goes up above. So now we can even put together this portion of the die, or the tag, because the next step is to do the poppy and color. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this fun wild circle. If you know the name of it, tell me what the name is, because I don't really know what you call this, but I love it, and I'm going to be using it a lot. So I just put a couple of dimensionals on there, and then I'm going to center it on the pre-cut tag or rectangle. And then I've already stamped my thank you sentiment on my stitch circle. So I'm going to do the same thing and go ahead and add that with Stampin' Dimensionals. And this is really pretty easy. I made 4 or 5 of them just pretty quick, really pronto. So I'm going to try to line this up straight and see if I can get my sentiment kind of straight. And this circle, the thing I like about it, this stitch circle die fits really well right in that other die from the painted labels. So there's the basis of our tag right there. And then the next thing we have to do is color a poppy, and I stamped 2 just in case, you know. And I have not stamped the leaves. So this is a leaf from the Painted Poppy set. And because I'm going to use Stampin' Blends to color, I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp 2 leaves right on here. Gosh, I may have gotten too small of a piece. And I wanted to tell you, for my coloring, this time, just for some reason, I had out some watercolor paper, the Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and I just decided to use it. And I'll show you the cover, or actually what it looks like. This is the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I really like it, and it's nice and sturdy and strong, and so I guess I was thinking it would be stronger than plain Whisper White for the poppy on the tag, and it is, and I really liked it. So to start out with, we're going to use Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blends on the leaves. And what I did is I started with the light color. You know, the blends come in a particular color, like a Mossy Meadow, and then you get a light and a dark so that you can create your shading. So I'm just going to go in there with the light Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to just color everything with that particular color. And I'm going to do both leaves. I know I kind of went off right there, but I think I can probably fix that after I die cut. I can fix it with my scissors. So real quickly, I just colored in with light Mossy Meadow, And then I'm taking the dark Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to just line those veins in the leaf. And you can even add one or two of your own if you want to. I'm gonna cough. I think I've told you I've been fighting this cold. Excuse me, it's actually just left over. And so many people here are coughing. I bet it's near where you live too. And I hope you haven't had it. Now, one thing I've discovered that's kind of fun is I've got it's not white, it's called the Color Lifter. And it really adds some neat dimension, some neat, well, it looks just a little more professional. If you go in and add and use the Color Lifter, it just lightens up a little area. And it just gives a little more of an interesting look to your projects. So there are my leaves. Now let's do a poppy. We only need one. I stamped two, and I'm going to start out with Calypso Coral Light. And I actually like to use the brush end almost all the time. I really like the brush end. Some people like the other end. What do they call that? I don't know what they call the other end, but it's more like a pen, more like a marker pen. But I really like the brush end because I like to kind of feel like I'm painting. What about you? And you know, this is so peaceful. I could sit and do this all evening. It's just so peaceful. It really relaxes me. It's kind of like coloring with crayons. And if you don't have some of these Stampin' Blends, they're not very expensive. They're the fabulous alcohol markers, and I just love them. Now I'm going to get a little color in there. Okay, that was our light Calypso Coral. Now let's go back in with some dark, and we'll do just a little bit of shading. We'll go down in here. And really, I am just like nobody. I don't have any experience in painting. Or watercoloring. I just watch what other people do and do that. And these products make it easy. So here's the light colored Stampin' Blend again, the light Calypso Coral. So I'm going to go back in and blend it a little bit so it doesn't look so, the lines aren't so noticeable. So I'm going to go back in and blend it. And I know when I'm doing it, I think, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. It looks like a kindergartner or something. But when you get it all finished, you'll be shocked how professional it looks. So now I'm going back with my Color Lifter, and I'm just going to, you know, just use it in some little places, maybe on edges, just to bring out a little of the white, to give it a little oomph. And there we go. Now I'm going to go back in with the dark Mossy Meadow and actually the more pen end here, and I'm going to just poke on it to kind of give to darken in what I think they call the stamen of the flower, so it looks a little better. There you go. It's all colored. Now, and I've never done this, so you're the first ones to have me do it, I'm going to bring up my Big Shot. It's always seemed too complicated to me, but I decided tonight I'm going to give it a try. Let me see if I can get it a little more so you can see it. So here is my first one, my poppy, and I'm going to get the die for that. And this is this the half? This is the half poppy. There's a full poppy and a half poppy. So this is kind of the half one. And I don't know if this is going to be on the camera or not, but I'm going to put it right there. And get it ready to run through the Big Shot, and you can use any die cutting machine that you like. And then I'm also going to do the leaves at the same time because amazingly Stampin' Up has given us 2 leaves. They knew we'd need more than one. So I have 2 little leaf dies, so I can run everything through the Big Shot right at the same time, which is pretty convenient. And I'm going to try to fix that little one that went off the edge there. Okay, now we put our top plate on, and I don't use the magnetic base. I just put my top plate on and hold it and run it through, and I don't seem to have any trouble. Okay, Great, now let me lift this off and away, and we'll see what we have left. There are our leaves, our 2 leaves, and our poppy, and they are gorgeous. This is such a pretty set. Okay, let me get this out of the way here. Aren't they darling? And I don't even really think you notice much where I went off the edge there. So now let's finish putting together our tag. So here's our tag, and I left plenty of room up here to put on the poppy. And I do have a little trouble getting things up with my fingernails. Let me see. Okay, here are my scissors. They can help me. Whoops. So I'm going to just see exactly how I want to place this. I want my leaves to come out from underneath, maybe like that. So what I do is I usually place things and then I go back in and glue them or adhere them. And I kind of like that. So I've got my Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I wanted to show you this little thing. Do you mind if I just stop for a minute and show you something cool? So this is really hysterical. This is a little rubber fingernail polish holder. And some friends and I got these from Amazon. I also ordered some off of eBay, but the Amazon ones came a lot quicker. I mean, we all love Amazon, right? And this little nail polish holder works amazing for your glue. Look at that. And I keep it by my desk like this all the time. And it just keeps my glue right down to the base. I love it. And so when I'm ready to glue something, my glue is ready. And they're not very expensive at all. I don't even know what they're called. Something about nail polish holders. But I am loving this. Just a little hint. I just wanted to share that with you because I've been enjoying that. And of course I had to get pink because pink is my favorite color. Okay, so I'm going to glue, now I'm going to glue on my leaves pretty much where I place them. And one is facing upward and one is facing downward. Usually I would put on less glue, but this time I'm putting on a little more because it is that heavy watercolor paper. Now what I did with the actual poppy, it's kind of interesting. I wanted it to be raised up. Have you ever put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals, one right on top of the other? Well, that's what I did here because the base of my poppy is going to be on top of the leaves, but the top of the poppy is going to hang over, and I wanted to build up the 2 dimensionals so it's at the same height as the sentiment circle. So to do that, you put one on and take the little paper off, and then you put another one on and you position it just the same way that one was. So now it's built up and it's a 2-level, a dimensional tower, 2-level dimensional. And now I'm ready to put my poppy on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of glue down under here, not too much, but more than I normally would. Press that over the leaves, and those dimensionals are right at the height that I want them to be. And there's the tag. Oh, I forgot a couple of other fun things. So we always have to have a little bit of bling, right? These are Peaceful Poppy sequins, and they are so pretty. The colors that are in the catalog using peaceful painted poppies and the peaceful poppies. The colors are Calypso Coral, and I think they might have used Rich Razzleberry or something, but these colors are beautiful. They're deep, some red, some black, some gold, some clear. And I decided to use some of these. Just going to pull some out so you can really see them there. I'm going to use these lighter Calypso Coral ones, and I don't know if you can see that, but that one there is a little tiny flower. And what I do is, again, with my glue, I just put a little dot. Let's see, a little dot, a couple little dots, and I'll put the sequins on top. And then you're always supposed to do things in 3s, so I'll put another sequin over there. And then let's just go ahead and put them on. I think I'll put the little flower up here. Now you could use definitely your take your pick tool. It's great for this, but I just got used to using my scissors. I trained myself really to use my scissors. So that's what I use. And let's see, here's another little sequin. Those little guys can get away from you. And that's where the take your pick tool comes in, because it has a little gummy area that the sequin can stick to. Okay, I'll pick that up later. And then to finish it off, I used some Wink of Stella. And I did this with my other ones, and I just went in there and kind of just covered it with the Wink of Stella to give it some sparkle. I mean, we all like sparkle, right? And I thought the recipients of my shares would like a really pretty little card with some sparkle, a tag with some sparkle. Sorry, I keep calling it a card. That's because I'm going to show you a card here in a second. So there's your tag. Isn't that just the easiest to do? And look how beautiful. I mean, people will be blown away that you made that yourself. It's gorgeous. All right, so let's see. I always tell people I do classes on tags sometimes, and they might say, I don't want to come because I don't need any tags. Well, look what you can do with the tag. Once I made my tag, what I did is I layered it on top of a piece of Calypso coral, and I'll put the dimensions for you. I'm going to post the card and the tags and everything on my blog, prettypapercards.com, on Monday, and I'll have all the measurements for you. And I cut out this small piece. I embossed it with the Scripty embossing folder. I'll put it up a little closer so maybe you can see it better. And I put that behind, and then this is a piece of the gorgeous Painted Poppies paper. Try saying that fast. I think that's what it's called. Peaceful Poppies paper, special or designer series paper. And so I layered those on top of each other, and then in the Painted Poppies set are some little stamps that have blotches, and so I blotched around a piece of Whisper White, just using a stamped off Mossy Meadow on that stamp. And there's your card. Oh, and on the inside, I used a little bit of stamped off Mossy Meadow ink to create that poppy. But isn't that a gorgeous card? So you can make a tag and use it to put on your card. And I love this set, and I really want to encourage you to get it, the Painted Poppies stamp set and the die set. And I want to encourage you because you probably know, if you know Stampin' Up, or maybe you don't, that every year between January and March, we have what's called Celebration. And for every $50 you spend before tax and shipping, you get to choose one free thing from the Celebration catalog. So it's totally worth ordering during these 3 months, because if you spend $50, you get something free. And I didn't bring my Celebration catalog here, but I have a couple of the items just sitting around. Here are a few. These are two of the stamp sets. Excuse me. This is called Sending You Thoughts. This one is called Thoughtful Blooms, and there is a punch that goes with those two blooms. There's gorgeous paper. There's a link to it on my blog. You can click and look at the Celebration catalog. So if you are interested in any of these things, it's the time to get them between January and March, when you can get something free. You won't be sorry. And this is such a beautiful set, this Painted Poppies. I know I'm going to use it a lot, and I haven't even used, look at that cute little border and this other little circle inside. I mean, there are things I haven't even used, so you'll be seeing those on my blog. Thank you for stopping by today and joining me as I made this fun little tag and card. I would really appreciate it if you would share my video with your friends so they can see it too and maybe tune in. And I will see you next Friday at 4 o'clock when I'll have another great project. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.